My name's Anna Brown. I'm from Leisure Networks. I have not received a Lifetime Achievement Award for anything, but I am a PE teacher, so there does seem to be a bit of a common thread this morning. Some of you may know Leisure Networks, some of you may not. We are a regional sports assembly and we're based down in Geelong. Go Cats! Anybody else a fan? No? Woo! One of the things I do within Leisure Networks is organise the Active Adults programme, and it's that I'm going to speak about today. It's been really interesting hearing Jeff this morning, really positive, really upbeat, really successful. One thing I learned the last time we were here was actually about failure, and that I can learn more from failure and things that have gone wrong in the past than I can probably learn from success. So I'm going to speak to you about one of my programs called the Active Adults Programs that has been majorly successful, but the reason it's been successful is because we've gone through some fairly major failures as well. It's an over 55s program and we're based in 5 LGAs in and around the Bellarine. It's generally based on an 8-week activity program, changing every single term in all of the 5 LGAs as well. We are driven by local deliverers. So the way that Leisure Networks works is we go into the local area, we suss out exactly who the key connectors are within the community. We then find out what activities older adults would like. We see what's already available within the community. We try to identify where the spaces are and then try and build programs from there. We generally try and use the people who are participating to try and build programs as well. So one example of success has been when we've been working down in Colac. We worked with the local government there. We also worked with a local gym. The gym had just had a massive amount of refurb and money spent on making it looking fantastic, but there was not very many older adults coming over the threshold as a new area. It was a gym that was new and shiny. It was a sensational pool that was not necessarily used by a lot of older adults, and our aim was always to try and get more older adults into the community centre or into the activity centre as well. The Active Adults is an outdoor-based programme. So we generally meet in a park. We do an 8-week variety programme, so whatever they have enjoyed in the past, we try and introduce it again and again. This business model was successful in Colac. Because we managed to partner with the gym, we were charging generally $5 per session. Leisure Networks employed the deliverer who was local, made the connection there, spoke to various community groups. So I've spoken at CWAs, I've spoken at Probus clubs, Rotary clubs, social centres as well, older adult centres, but generally made a good social connection, spruiking about what Leisure Networks does, making connections with the local gym as well. With that, we've managed to, because of the connection with the gym, is introduce more people to the gym within Colac. So not only have they managed to have an outdoor experience at a low cost, but they've also all now had an experience within the gym as well and increased the number of participants who are over 55 within the gym. So that business model was a success, and I thought this was great. I thought we could easily replicate this over the 5 LGAs we were in. So I took the same idea, or the similar idea and similar business model to Queenscliff. We interviewed people within the community. I went to Men's Shed to ask them what they felt was missing, etc. within the community. We tried to work on where areas of that were needing to be built, etc. as well. And I discovered that Tai Chi Qigong is something that was needed. I didn't even know what Qigong was. I later found out it's a very similar thing to Tai Chi as well. We built a program there using the neighbourhood house as a direct connector to the community. We built a program that had 26 people the first day. Usually I can deem success with things like between 5 and 10 people. I feel that it's been successful. To have so many people, I thought I'd hit a jackpot. The program went as a pilot. It ran for 6 weeks, and it was one of the best programs that we have definitely run. However, my failure was that it didn't have sustainability. What we hadn't built in was the fact that we didn't realise people were not happy to pay up front. The deliverer wanted people to pay up front. So having had the success initially, when we tried to take it long term, we had to reel back our initial thoughts. People were willing to pay $5. They were willing to pay on a weekly basis. So we've had to build things back slightly differently. One thing I've definitely learned is that one size does not fit all. The COLAC success was never going to be successful elsewhere. Local community is such an important aspect, and I'm sure everybody here has worked with great partners within the community as well. We've worked successfully with some LGAs, trying to get partnerships and work together about gaining grants to generate sustainability as well. One thing that Jeff mentioned was volunteers. Such key people within so many communities as well with volunteers to generate and to build sustainability into programs right from the start. The other thing that we've worked on is differing price points. So we'd gone in at $5, but some of the people that were delivering were saying, well, it's not sustainable at that level unless we have a huge amount of people. So we've managed to, within different areas, people pay different prices. So between $8 and $12, depending on the area. It's always been worked out with the people that are participating in the activities as well. One thing I've mentioned is that one business model does not fit all. The general idea that I've gone in with all the areas that we've worked in within the 5 LGAs has been successful, but it's also been, we've also experienced failure within some areas as well. The failures in one area don't necessarily seem to be failures in the second area or the third area, but they're generally, you find that the successes that have been good within a few of the areas have been progressed to the next one. We've definitely supported progressions of classes. So rather than me making decisions or the deliverer making decisions, we've had great feedback from all the participants within the programs. They've generally managed to create their own programs, whether it's indoor-based or whether it's outdoor-based, depending on the cost as well. The sustainability of it has been built on volunteers, on great feedback from participants, and from funding as well, so that people are paid directly. Leisure Networks then steps away and just offers light touch support. With that, we're always there ready to help support if required, but generally, most of the programs, all of the programs now are sustainable by themselves. This last picture is of the COLAC participants who take part in there. This is a program that still runs after a year and a half of delivery. They still run the same 8-week program. They still run on their model is based on $6.70, bit of a bizarre price that they're charging there, but it is run by the gym. All these people had never been inside a gym before in their lives, and they've all now joined the gym within some capacity, whether it's just the times that Jeff was talking about, the lower times within the gym, or actually participating as part of a larger group. The one thing that I do definitely feel about sustainability and about failure is I've learned more from failure within the areas I've worked on than I have from success. That costing is different in all of the areas that I've worked in as well, and that getting the community on board and participants on board really early on to generate a program that they want rather than the one that I want. And that is all I have to say.
How do you plan when people don't want to pay up front for a full 6 or 8 weeks? They want to pay weekly. That presents a significant challenge to your financial planning when you don't know whether you're going to get 2 people one week or 10 people the next week.
It's a really good question. It's something that we really struggled with to begin with. With that, we'd spoken to the participants about exactly that problem. One of the areas that we worked in was Anglesey. They started paying $5 when we initially started off as well. They understood that the only reason this would be sustainable would be if they had guaranteed prices all the way through. So we increased that price to $8 rather than the $5. So if we had 10 people attending, which we felt was a reasonable number, generally the people that were participating in that, there was about 15 people there every single week. So that the deliverer felt, yep, as long as I've got 10, I should be fine covering my costs as well. So it was really up to Leisure Networks to help build the promotion into that as well, and help support the deliverer about promoting that, making sure that we had regular feedback within the local community news, and the neighbourhood house was pretty good at developing it as well. It was difficult, but that has built quite well as well.
Do Did you ever subsidise the deliverer?
Yes, initially. For the first term, we subsidised them completely, and from then on, we made sure that the price that was being paid by the participants covered their costs. That was always discussed right from the beginning, not just with the deliverer, but with the participants as well.
How did the participants take the change in terms of cost? So from it being at one
Yep.
point, and then I suppose it varies from $5 to $8, and so over a 50% increase. So how did they take that? Did you lose people?
We discussed it with them to begin with. So we also looked at the price range of other activities within the community. So our neighbouring house, particularly at Anglesey and Colac, were charging between $7 and $12 for a variety of activities. So we spoke to the participants about how much they felt was fair to pay. We said that the $5 wasn't sustainable, and the price that they came up with was the $8 there. In another area, in Winchelsea, they're paying $6. So that price variety is different in every single area. But we got them on board, and I think that's what we really worked hard with.
Hi Anna, I'm Sue from Learning Networks.
I think I know you.
How did you go about finding your local deliverer?
That was really key, because I'm sure everybody else here has exactly the same response, is that it is the person that sells the package. It's not about the package that you're delivering. With that, we managed to identify quite strong deliverers within each of the communities that we've been working with. Spoke to them about areas that they felt were maybe missing, and then spoke to them about the possibility of supporting for 6 months financially, and then building it from there as well.
Just to go off that one, what did your deliverers look like? Who were they?
Who were they? So we tried to always make sure our deliverers were more mature. So all the deliverers that we have are probably in their 50s, and that's not being detrimental or anything else towards people who are younger, but for our older adults to identify with somebody who perhaps had the same life experience as them, or perhaps had the same ailments and issues as them, that became quite a key point of difference from our courses.
So did they have any qualification for skills, such as like were they coaches, XP teachers, fitness certificates, etc.?
So the majority of them were a couple of ex-teachers. They were all qualified within the fitness field. 1 or 2 of them have gone on to do things like the No Falls program, and made it a specialist of theirs to focus on older adults within that sort of range as well. So we always identified, that was the other thing I was going to say to you as well, we identified with all of our promotion, we used images of participants. With all of our promotions as well, we used images of the deliverers, so people knew who they were coming to see, and people could identify hopefully with the other participants within the groups as well.
And of all the locations that you've set this up in, how many of them are using the upfront fee structure versus pay-as-you-go?
They are all using pay-as-you-go. The upfront fee structure was only used in Queenscliff. The deliverer there felt that that's the only way that she'd ever delivered before, and she wasn't comfortable with another way of payment. So we've changed that. We've just worked really closely with her.
So my question to SSAs, how many of your products are upfront fees versus pay-as-you-go?
It's a combination. We have both.
Sorry, what's that?
We have both.
Yeah, both.
It's probably 50-50 between what they want to do, whether they want to pay as you go, or those that want to pay.
Can I ask you a question then? How much are people paying then up front? Because we had tried to do half a term, so we tried $45, and that wasn't successful because people felt it was too much money. So how much?
Jack?
It's dependent on the program.
Yeah.
So we structure it so that if you do pay up front, you receive a discount. So you end up getting 1 or 2 sessions
Yeah.
credit. Some of the programs we've got running now is $80 up front, other ones $150 depending on the session you go to.
150.
That's
So
16
we have
sessions.
a higher overheads.
Okay.
So it's different equipment and
We've never experienced that before, so asking people for $150 up front, I don't know if any of the RSCs have had it as well, but it has.
it's definitely something we play around with every program we run.
Yeah.
We've found one at MSAC that works, and potentially because it's in an affluent area. But when we have tried other programs in regional areas, we definitely have to drop the prices.
So Sorry, what are we talking about?
Swimming.
Sorry, the question.
Just a real quick one. In regards to pay-as-you-go.
Yep.
And look, I'm going to blurt straight out there. I'm taking a lot of assumptions and making a lot of generalisation and calls here, but I'm assuming these people probably pay cash and not doing some sort of online transfer.
Yep.
So that was the briefing that each instructor had, is you're going to get your money
Yeah.
right then and there type.
Yeah. I think the other thing that I found dealing with the older adults, anything to do with the computer, social media, anything like that, it's been really challenging for them. They want to give cash to a person.
Yeah.
So we've really had to build that into the start of the program as well, that the deliverer is going to be collecting money, that they're going to be dealing with all the money as well. Right from the start.
Does Leisure Network still have an active role in the ongoing program?
Yeah, so our active role is just about support. So we would go and visit 2 to 3 times a term. If people are off, I can go deliver the programs for them as well. So we do offer support throughout the year too.
But in terms of a commercial relationship, is it purely with the instructor you set the program up with?
Yes.
Is there a mechanism in place that would deal with risks associated with cash collection?
Is there a mechanism, please? Sorry to.
That would deal with risks associated with collecting cash, basically? So in terms of policies, cash handling and that sort of stuff, I mean, is there any, how did you handle that?
There was never a policy drawn up. It was always made very clear from the start that all the money that was raised through the programs was going to be given directly to the presenter. And with that, I suppose Leisure Networks really took their hands off any sort of connection with that as well. So, in speaking as well to a number of the deliverers, that's how they've dealt in the past with their Pilates classes or their yoga classes or their other activities as well. So we specifically chose people that were quite happy with that and quite confident with that as well. But it seemed to work most of the time. Yeah.
Have you built centralised messaging and imagery and vision for the program, or are the deliverers doing a lot of that promotion individually, or are you kind of managing that?
I'm still managing that, although this term is one that I'm being able to push it all back on them now as well. Much as I say that, I've always encouraged them to come back to me if they require it. But the key message I've always tried to encourage is use the images of your own participants. And that seems to have gathered numbers because people identify with their local community as well. They can see the places that they are participating in. And adults who are over 55 not jumping in the air. So I think that seems to be an image that people get really cross with.
What was step one when going into call that community and actually connecting with how did you work out who to speak to? You said the Rotary Club and things like that. How did you calculate all that?
That was a really good question because I don't know COLAC. I'm not from Australia, so it was a big issue to go in. Could you tell? It was a big issue to go into an area that I didn't know. People didn't know me either. The advice I got was actually from a senior citizens club and from the U3A, and they said the best people to speak to would be these key people. The council, local council, they were fantastic as well because they were trying to promote walking tracks. So it linked in with what they were trying to do. It linked in with what U3A were trying to do with trying to boost community connection and trying to get older adults to come in and use the COLAC city centre as well. So it was just about speaking. It was just going out all the time and speaking to what U3A had suggested, which was the men's sheds, the CWA, etc., and also getting feedback from them. So I went to the men's shed and said, where else should I go? And they said Probus, and then they said CWA. So it was very much, it was hard graft to begin with, and lots of social connection within the community, but it certainly seemed to pay off pretty well longer term. Any more questions?
I've got one last one.
Yes.
It's more a comment, I suppose, which I know we will talk about later on, but that idea of obviously the level of intensity of work that you're putting in to create these connections and build programs and expand them into locations is fantastic, and it's obviously paying dividends. And one of the questions that will come up and we'll discuss later is about how do you, when if your role isn't funded anymore, what happens after that? And have you kind of thought about what happens in terms of your model if your position isn't there?
Yep, so we've factored that in. So so that all the participants know, all the deliverers know that now, at the end of this term, there will be no more support from leisure networks. So that's been factored in from the beginning. We've talked about that right at the start. As we talked about with the costing, that we come in at $5 and then we're moving to 8 or to 10. Because of that, because the conversation has been constant from the beginning, that we've built up resources. We gave everybody a USB with basic things like register sheets, posters, flyers, anything they need to know. So that will then be given to the deliverer, and they have autonomy then as well. So that has been factored.
So then with scaling in the future, do you guys look to have more deliverers running a similar program in similar areas, or are you only looking to run, the one program in each area, or what?
So the scale up, so that what we've done, particularly in Anglesey, so one of the deliverers there, she's really good, really strong. So what we've supported her with is saying, right, okay, let's work really closely with the neighbourhood house, what the gaps, etc., within the neighbourhood house as well, and supported her to deliver a second and third activity group as well. Sometimes taking some of the participants along with her, sometimes trying to identify new areas to come in as well. So we're trying to grow it specifically to the area. Again, identifying where the gaps are through speaking to the participants, but not only that, by going to Rotary clubs and continuing to go back to the community to ask them where they feel the gaps are as well.